There is rarely an easy route to the grand final, and both these teams embody that fact. For Vitality, it was grouping phase. It was coming back against Cloud9 to get to this grand stage, and Heroic, enemies of the state, man, they had to fight through Furia and Na'Vi with every foe against them. Vitality win that first half, but Heroic have been here before, here in this very grand final, in this very arena. This time, they don't want second place.
They go on one hell of a recovery to end that first half. Embodying the resilience that we've come to expect from this squad. Vitality. They're not waiting around to open up this CT side. They've taken all this ramp control. They are fully aware of where Heroic can be on the map at this point in time, and they are full sending it, wrapping through the back line. Apex teeing up his teammate in the site with flashes. Dupree is fed to the wall.
Crucial.
First man down, and here's the flank arriving. Yabi's holding for it, and the flank might never have the impact as Yabi makes quick work of it. That was the ace up Vitality's sleeve. That was meant to be the saving grace of this pistol round. And one man thwarts it entirely. Heroic with a flawless pistol to open up his second half of play.
Yeah, it's so reliant on that flash play from Dupree, right? Because when you're going through a smoke like that, you need to get 1-for-1. You need to get attention, because otherwise Heroic are not divided enough to look away from that flank. They can still dedicate a player to it. Vitality unable to cause enough pandemonium in the pistol, and Heroic come out with all the goods. 8 apiece. Titans right up on this T side now. Sonic Strong is exactly what Vitality did here. And see if Heroic can find the same fate.
That's the worst way it could have gone for Vitality, man. It hurts. Like they were weak over towards B because they had all the info. They had a fast flank that they knew could get activated, so they were hoping it could come down to the retake. They flash in Dupree to try and sell the lie that, you know, Vitality was scrambling. They get knocked out with no contest. Now they come in with the force. Gonna have a hit with it as well. Apex playing up close with his SMG. That's the MP9 by his side. Does have Zywoo to support him in at the top of ramp as well. Heroic low and slow in this anti-eco.
Yeah, they beg Vitality to make a move to push down close ramp to play yellow. They'll just be able to clear it later on. It's easy job for Heroic. So Apex will hold off. Zywoo looks for a D. And on the fatalist smoke, he will be given a chance, but how much? It's off. Heroic know what's coming. They know who's there. They're going to try and close that gap. Flash over the top, and Zywoo caught, trying to escape. Katie will not relent. Apex forced to reposition. Now Heroic get loud, and they get methodical, clearing every spot of the map. 2 smokes come down. That might just signal the round. Vitality have nothing but one nade. Apex has to basically run through these smokes with the nade and try and kill Plant. He's blind.
And knocked out by the util, spammed out through the smoke. Heroic, they've got this round and they know it. 2 kills like that and there's nothing on the line for Vitality anymore. Magic's trying to move in to grab this MP9, is just looking to save it. And even then, Heroic looking to be punishing in the post. You know they've done enough to win the round.
Would he be tempted by the kits? You'd like to think not, right? Saving T-side, you're going to save in the site, you're going to save within earshot of that defuse. So the disc will not make a move. He will just link back into the danger man as Shush, but maybe avoided yet. Wrong routes. Vitality seemingly allowed to save this very minimal second round. Heroic were allowed that same fact in the first half.
The saves allowed, but not through lack of trying to hunt it. Shush missing those timings, not locating anyone on the save. Vitality still with a little bit of spice to bring to the table here.
Definitely some more Heroic fans here. Heard some more cheers from his team. I think KD is, you know, clowning around, bringing out a Brazilian flag as well on his walkout. He's definitely put a few people the right way. Always a showman.
Yeah, he also went on Go's stream as well, and asked for support there. Wants to try and have the arena behind him. Well, in this round, they don't need that 6th man. They'll be all well and good. They farmed up the early ramp peak, Vitality living on borrowed time in this round. One man pushed down towards the bottom of B ramp. It's Spinks, who's 3 and 11. He's been having a bit of a mare open up this game.
And the head-to-head has been Yabby, right? He was rotating off B, would always read it when Spinks found a really good timing, when Vitality went slow on the B stairs to let Spinks get control. Yabby would read it every time. You won't need to get this entry. There are many more men up in front. The Spinks, there's surely no way to save this round. Oh, it's awkward. Gets the body shot, but no heads connect, and Cadian runs him down. Heroic will deal with this force save quickly.
Dude, even the way they're playing this is wild, you know? Dupree, toss a coin, figure out where they're going. Could be either side of the map. Does pick right, moving around with the Deagle. Dupree, contact made. Nice locate and deal with down. Point man removed for Heroic.
Still not enough, huh?
Still going on the idea that this might be the B plot. That's how mobile Heroic have been here.
True.
He's turning his attention behind him, paranoid that someone could be flanking it now. His object chains into the save.
Yeah, you don't want to save here, but just knowing that you're going to have that extra brand, right, in your armor essentially, that's, you know, every little helps. It all builds up towards the end of the game. So try and save his armor. The Mac 10 around the bomb site somewhere, but either way, this is Heroic playing very cautious, very patient in this T side. But that's on anti-ecos. I want to see what happens when we get guns on guns. Can start to make more blase plays, flashes through smoke. The pace changes that Heroic call are always very entertaining on these T sides. They'll keep you guessing.
Starting to kind of hit this breaking point where Vitality just need something to hold on to here, because Heroic is starting to feel a bit more like themselves, right? They're getting mobile again. You're seeing some of these riskier plays, such as, you know, pushing through the smokes, double pushing that in the last round versus the pistols. All these little gambles, all these little risks that Heroic, you know, do when they're in their element, they're starting to come through. And Vitality, they've had 1 round since that initial 7-1 lead, so like we're really starting to hit that point in time where if they don't course correct soon, Heroic might find multiple sets of redemption in Rio.
Yeah, and that round was the last round of the half. It was when Heroic were playing very aggressive. They dropped B with Shush. They double pushed their ARAM smoke. You know, they kind of went crazy for a little bit. See what they could get away with. Limit test in the last of the half. But yeah, as you said, it's been significantly easier, with the exception of that round for Heroic. This gun round would be devastating for Vitality to lose. Even more momentum flooding. Cadian sets up, flash, the pop back in ramp. Yabby gets a short molly, but there's no one here anyway. Zywoo playing a little bit more patient. They re-smoke the short side. Re-aggress on Zywoo. He can be the man. He can be the difference maker.
Yabby, as always, given a lot of room to play his own game on the lurk, but this time the duel comes up in favor of Dupree. That's the edge that Vitality were looking for, and Zywoo's going to take it 1 step further. Left is down, and Cadian, the world against them in this one. Vitality pulling players around to reinforce this A site. As Heroic move in, blinded by the flash. Magisk teed up by Apex. And Danish CS coming together to thwart that round and put a stop to Heroic.
Nice to see Vitality not being scared, right, despite this massive streak, despite this recovery from Heroic. Zywoo playing ahead of the smoke in a very dangerous position, and a double frag from Magisk pushing through with a flash. That's the kind of plays you want your individuals on Vitality to make. And so they will finally answer the call yet again. Cadian's AWP is out on the T side. Zywoo will not meet him there, not yet. Zywoo CT AWPing on this map, ooh, it's a delight. But as we can see, he can do it no matter what you give him. 3 on A, Vitality try and hold the ramp. Heroic once again are in no hurry. Bait, switch. Dupree gets spotted, he can run. If you try and chase him down, he will get punished. I love how Apex has been conditioning, making aggressive moves on yellow, but then falling back, never committing, never getting picked by it. Good stuff, Cadian. Nice shot, Zaiwu. Brought to his last legs. Swing out. They're not ready for close, but Cadian will trade that kill. He's kept heroic in this. They're going to speed up towards B.
Josh recognizes that he's been given a bit of room here, and so he's quick to take it. Flashed in by a teammate. Spinks on the boost in the middle, but the timing couldn't be worse. Oh, Spinks. At bottom of the board right now, and it just feels like he's cursed. Missed every timing here, but he will turn back around and deal with Yabi. Important kill to find. You knock out their lurk. You make this B take feel that much harder for Heroic.
Still in a great position. They've got the AWP in a post spot. They've got it down on default. The flank is clear, which they will soon figure out. Vitality, this is not a guaranteed round. The difference maker, 3 smokes. I want to see lineups come out from Vitality. Not just the right move on the bomb, but more.
Now they're not lining anything up. They're dry fighting this. They're moving through. They've got Shush pinned in at the back of the site. He needs help, and Cadian lends that helping hand. Beautiful synergy between Heroic. He comes in knowing he's throwing himself into the line of fire, into the danger zone. But it bails out Shush. It gives them that chance to flip the script in the 2v2, and decisively it becomes a 2v1.
Dangerous.
They know they're nailing it in.
Danger is a middle name every time, right? They have so much faith. They're willing to throw themselves on the, right on the chopping board, knowing they'll get traded. We saw that in that T side on Overpass yesterday. Some of the routing on entries at Monster was just so dangerous, but it doesn't matter if you die. It's all part of a greater plan for Heroic. Fantastic post-plant. Vitality not wanting to overcomplicate it. But they lose all the fights, all the glory. Flash through the smoke for a Mach 10. Zaiwu is ready. He does block Apex into that spam. A little awkward. Must make up for it now.
Good mid-round move made from Vitality. They're being very active in trying to problem solve this, but that's what makes it scarier that the rounds are still coming up in favor of Heroic. It's not like Vitality is going quiet into this sort of, monstrous lead that's getting put up against them. They're trying things. They're trying to be proactive. Heroic have stopped it every step of the way, and this round looks to be no exception. Shush holding on for the flank. Won't get away with the kill. Kings tagged even lower on the wallbang. Something like that. He's got to right off the flank. This is awkward. Vitality know it's going to be this A play. They know that's the option left to Heroic.
Smoke went off the map. It's going to be down to dry fights. They've got nothing left. Zaiwu's held it. Spinks is still on the flank as well. He's just not committed. And then look at the entry. The Magista dies at the doorway. Big spray down from Magist. Again, he is a rock on this A site. Oh, flustered rounds from both these teams in this map. Nades getting missed. Corner's not cleared.
And it's reassuring that it's Magisk and Dupree, the two most decorated players on the Vitality squad, that find the pieces necessary to turn that around, right? Because it was Dupree in that Cloud9 game. We all remember it. We all remember the time machine that he leapt into there. And so if these two can find their footing, the two Danes can be the ones to, bring Vitality back into the fold, get Zaiwu a little more activated, bring Spinks into the picture.
Yeah, I like how much he's been vocal as well, right? Legacy player, legend player, every major for Dupree. And sure, they picked up that Pro League Finals trophy, but the last time that Dupree did it on a stage was back in 2019, man. It was back in Bahrain. He wants that taste of glory once again, past the Astralis and into the future.
Much faster round here. Heroic throwing in a bit of a Hail Mary, and why not? Apex dinged by the P2, running out of ammo now. Will get run down. Lives up to his side of the bargain, right? Multi-kill out of the captain, keeps Vitality in this, and the nade for the plant, gonna blow down out of the water. Cadian's too low to want to even get involved here. He's waiting for Yabi to move around, but time is not on his side, not with Dupree. Looking to close the net on this ramp play. So just Yabi. 1v3 as he moves up ramp. Dupree's looking to fight this every step of the way! Like a spinning top, Dupree!
How does he win that one? There is no way. Absolute whiff for Yabi, and Dupree doesn't know where to look. But Vitality look up right now. This is a late game recovery on the CT side after they lost so many rounds in a row. And
wow,
that
it
is
looks
crazy.
even wilder from his POV. My God, Dupree.
It's great that it's Dupree and Magisk as well. It's not even ZywOo and Spinx that are making this CT side happen for Vitality, right? Spinx is still silent in this entire game so far. ZywOo had a round on A, but it has been the Danes of Vitality beating their brothers.
Yeah, and I think that's the one that if your heroic gets under your skin a little bit more as well, because, you know, when you go into a game versus Vitality, you kind of say to yourself, yeah, the odds are ZywOo's going to have one of those rounds at some point that only ZywOo could win. But it's Magisk and Dupree, the guys that Heroic kind of lived in the shadow of throughout the entirety of this roster's, you know, career. They would go play events out in Denmark, out in Copenhagen, and the crowd would boo them if they played Astralis.
Yeah. I mean, even Katie's talked about, you know, the ZywOo effect in interviews here at Rio, talking about how, yeah, you know, he is going to go crazy sometimes, and you just need to have really, you know, tight T-sides. You need to have great flashes and great comps to deal with him. If you can get ZywOo out on 1-for-1s, you are praying. You are happy. Dangerous for Apex. He will get out scot-free. Just think, it's taking warp even. Oh, they've gone through the smoke, Apex. He will just dodge death for another second down, stuck on the clock, and Apex hits a shot. Heroic just going to end his eco with ease, and Vitality deliver us 12. This game is tight right now.
Yeah, you know, this is a real turning point. Vitality suddenly back in the picture, and it really didn't feel like they were going to be. Heroic were running away with this. Started 7-1, but then it was Heroic in the lead after embarking on this big old streak. Close out that first half, they come into the second with grit and determination, everyone's believing. And they were picking up a lot of steam, and there were questions about whether or not Vitality could stop that, could slow them down, force a bit of respect out of them. And now Heroic, after using a lot of these timeouts, calling in their third, you can see that pressure is being felt.
Yeah, it's incredible that these are two of the most resilient teams right now, just off of, you know, recent results. As I mentioned, just, you know, recently a Pro League for Vitality against FaZe, and also here as well, performing massive comebacks. We won't talk about Kato, and obviously Heroic, a team that you just can't put away. They don't break. Both trying to peak at the same time, in time for Paris for Vitality, and Heroic wanting more than second place that these last few tournaments have provided for them. Dupree making moves on B, but that flash forces respect. ZywOo's got his AWP as well. Chilling on ramp for now. Heroic are in no hurry. They're going to get smokes out. It's not the object of their desires for the time being. Probably expected in this AWP from ZywOo. They get something new with DXA. Dupree here alone right now, calling for some rotations. Magisk making the move over. You find these guys on A, now you find them on B. They're everywhere, they're in your nightmares. And Heroic don't have a lot of util to run this double molly XX that Vitality were doing. They're going to try and do it with kills. They go for a boost. This flash for Yabi in middle is going to go over the top of the B site. They jump up, they try to chase Dupree, and that's awkward, but he wins his fight. They've got to chase this one down. Heroic not given the option to. Wall of smoke in the way. They go out mid instead.
Trying to make a hero play here. He's got Tessez throwing util over the top for him. He's desperately looking for this man at the back of the site. Eventually something's got to give if Heroic want to cook up around here. They start to lose bodies all across the map. Too quickly for you to even realize that this round is slipping through your fingers, and now Tessez is plunged into the 1v4. First man dealt with, but he's got to do so much more here, does Tessez. Vitality give him room. They give him a lot of room. More than even he's expecting here. Wanted more of a fight. So he's going to go looking for one, pushing up all the way towards the spawn, but no one from Vitality gives him anything, and now they know he has to plant. They're running him down. Apex with the missed jump, but Dupree's there to bail out his captain.
All right, he gets a plant. You're happy with that, to be honest. You were meant to be dead before that ever came down, but a stick is something. It's a bit more money for Heroic. Vitality still holding on CT side. 4 rounds in a row as well. And they keep it cool. Right now, Yami, we're seeing some individual struggles from this guy. Not known for that. The Tech-9 whip that round. Couldn't trace the spray onto Spinks. Now starting to lose out in this head-to-head that was doing him so right in the first half, and even at the start of the second. We've called him a big game player. He needs to show that now more than ever. Heroic running out of rounds as Rune Cadian takes matters into his own hands and somehow survives the night.
Zawu with that orb hasn't really been something you've had to worry about yet if you're Heroic. But he opens up in this round, and there's Magisk really sealing the deal on it. Yabi even spotted and spammed out by Magisk.
It's so suffocating on A. Heroic can't get comfortable. Even when they get top ramp, Vitality reflash back in, they go for more. We haven't seen Heroic get to play standard XX on A and go back into post bonds. They are dead by the time they're in the site.
This is going to be a real test for Cadian. I like that he's taking this opportunity now, not just to save the gun. There's a lot more to it than that. You're looking at him on the player cam. He's being very, very vocal. He's trying to bring everyone back into the game. I think it's clear that Heroic are feeling the pressure. One of the things that this team's been great through all event long is in finding gaps, is, you know, playing with a good deal of confidence and belief in the call. But this has felt, if anything, more standard in terms of how they're setting up, more predictable, a little slower, where before they were reacting on feeling, on intuition from Cadian. Now they're having to go and gather info. They're having to try and play with, you know, the knowledge of how Vitality is set up. And Cadian didn't need that throughout a lot of these playoff games. That's what's been so impressive about this run for me. I think it was in that Na'Vi game, just the number of calls that would come through where, you know, he would call for a stack with seemingly no info behind it. It was just his read of the game. And so he's taking a bit of time now to try and talk to the boys, bring them back on side, but this save, the save won't come through. The gun removed. But were those extra few minutes to talk to the team enough to bail out Heroic?
Yeah, Stan's had a good game. Cadian has been the captain in and out of the server, right? 6-1 opening duels, 5 multi-kill rounds. He's had a lot of impact in this game so far, but it has fallen on dead ears. Vitality bringing what they need to the plate. And Zawu, again, not been a requirement, not been quiet, not been a problem. But it's been the Danes that are doing it for Vitality, and that's what you always wanted. That's what you expected to see. Another opener from Cadian. Heroic must capitalize. They must collapse on this A site, but look who's in store. Waiting. Ever patient, ever potent. Flank inbound as well, avoiding Shush. Heroic, the job has just begun.
The longer they take, the more Spinks can get out of this flank as well. So while Vitality have Heroic trapped on ramp, it's going to work to their benefit. They flash Magisk in. This is the guy playing with confidence. Heroic try to come back now, and they will flush out Spinks' flank. Says claims the life. And suddenly Heroic are roaring to life here. Dupree on the rotate over, but he's never going to be ready for Shush this deep. Vitality might just have to call this one off. The 2v4. A round that almost every team would save in, and Vitality are no exception to that rule.
They just avoid Zawu perfectly there, and that realization when you kill Spinks on the flank that yes, they have left that B-box site open, they think we're committing a, in fact they're right, but Shush's lurk is monstrous for Heroic to get them space and let them seesaw between the sides. Finally we have a round win after an abundance of Vitality success. 5 straight, now denied, now on the board, and this is where Heroic are most deadly, where Cadian can pump his boys up, remind them what they're playing for, remind them that they are still in this map. Heroic need to prove again that they don't break.